Today I would like to share with you how you can do your own wire writing using floral wire from the Dollar Tree. That was really difficult to say. Wire writing, wire writing, wire writing. Hi everyone! It's Kieran with Thrifted Living. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today I am here to share another Dollar Tree DIY. I have been having so much fun sharing all of these Dollar Tree DIYs with you all. Today's project is something that I have been wanting to share with you guys for quite a while. Today I would like to share with you a Dollar Tree DIY using Dollar Tree floral wire. I have seen this stuff at the Dollar Tree for a while and it's been like catching my eye for a while and I just couldn't figure out exactly how I wanted to use it. I knew that this product had potential, but I couldn't really figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it. And then recently at one of my trips to the Dollar Tree, I was struck with inspiration on what exactly to do with this wire. So this is what the product looks like. It is floral wire. It's actually a decent amount of wire on here. As you can see, it's like a pretty decent amount. And it actually says that it is 6 foot of wire, which that is crazy. That is a lot of wire. I think that's actually a pretty decent amount of wire for only $1. I've been seeing this product sitting in the floral section for quite a while, and I have been trying so hard to figure out exactly what to do with it. And then one day I went into the Dollar Tree and it just hit me of what I could do with this wire. I'm sure you guys have seen it before at like craft fairs or on Pinterest, but people take wire like this and they actually do writing. Like sometimes when I go to craft fairs, I see people taking the wire and writing like people's names. They can personalize your name and make it into a necklace. And I've also been seeing products like this and wires like this being used in gallery walls. So they'll write something inspirational in the wire and then they will actually just like mount it to the wall, and it just gives it a really sleek, pretty look. I really like the way that wire looks in decor. I think that it can have a lot of different like feelings to it. It can give like a modern vibe, but it can also give like a really vintage and classic vibe. So I was inspired to use this to recreate some of those looks that I have seen on Pinterest. This inspiration came at the perfect time because I am working on 2 gallery walls in our home right now. I'm working on one in our craft room and I'm also working on one in our kitchen. And I'm going to be sharing that video with you guys next week, so please stay tuned for that. So this idea came to me at the perfect time and I can't wait to incorporate the piece that I made during this project in those different spaces. The first things that you need for this project are wire, floral wire from the Dollar Tree, which I already shared with you, and you also need some wire cutters. These came from the Dollar Tree as well, and I think that this is a really great deal. I haven't priced out wire cutters anywhere else, but I am assuming that they're more than $1, and these work so well. This comes in so many different colors. I believe it's 4 or 5 different colors. I know that they have the gold and silver, possibly. I'm not sure about the silver. They definitely have a purple, a green, and a red. I picked up gold because gold is an accent in my craft room. If you can see behind me, I'm actually sitting in the craft room right now. So I picked up gold for this project. So for this project, I tried 2 different words. I wrote the word create and I also wrote the word eat. So eat will go in our kitchen and create will go in the craft room. So when I started this project, I went on to PicMonkey and I tried to find a font that I liked, and then I printed it out in a bigger size and I lined my word up. I lined my wire up to the paper so that I could kind of trace the design of the font. However, when I actually sat down to do it and I actually was lining everything up, it felt really awkward to me to do that. And for me, it was just easier to use my own like hands and my own like knowledge of writing and my own penmanship almost to design the letters in a way that I would write. At first I had the paper down. I thought it would help me kind of spell out the words that I was going to write, and it just didn't really work, so I kind of discarded it after a couple minutes. So eat was the first word that I tried. I just started on the outside for the project, and I just started on the far left end of the word and looped the letter E up and around, and I brought the wire behind the E, and then I brought it back up and all the way around to loop around again. So it really is very similar to the way you would write in cursive, is how you're going to mold the wire. And the most difficult part of both of these words was the letter T. T was the most difficult, and I fought with that letter for a good 20 minutes on both of those words, like together combined 20 minutes. It was frustrating. It was so frustrating because in order to keep it all together, you had to loop up, you had to go up and then over and around and back down. It was very challenging. The first one I did was eat, and I thought it turned out really nicely. Then I worked on the word create, and after seeing how small the word eat was and knowing how much wire I had, like I knew how much 6 foot was, but I really couldn't visualize it. So I decided to make the word create a little bigger, and create was a lot easier because I had tackled that T already. And I thought that I think that create turned out really, really nicely. The one thing that I did struggle with a little bit in the middle is the E. It was a little difficult for me to like loop it around and to make it look like an E. But I think that I accomplished that. It just did take a little bit of practice, and it did take a while to actually do it. It probably took me, each word probably took me, create probably took 20 minutes, eat took like 15 minutes. And that was just me being very, very picky and also struggling with the letter T. But it's something that I think once you just try it, once you just jump right into it, it's kind of, it's just like writing, it's just like writing in cursive. And another thing that is important is to make sure that the letters are the same height, like proportionately, to make sure that they are proportional to one another. I think that that is where the paper does come in handy. If you have a certain font size, you can kind of measure up your letters just to see that the C at the beginning of the word matches up with the E at the end of the word. You can kind of just lay it down and check that. I wish I had that for the purpose of this project to make sure it was lined up. When I was done, I just used my wire cutters to cut off the excess. So I used my wire cutters in two different ways. The first way that I used it was to obviously cut the wire, but another way that I used it is I took this like blunt part in the middle. It's like it's not sharp right there, and I used that to actually bend these down a little closer. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it really well. I'll get a little closer. So here's my T. I actually just took it like this and I was push like that, and I'm sure that's probably what it's for. But that was another way that I used it. I was having a hard time getting the T to really get close together. And so that was something that I found really, really helpful, was that inside part of the wire cutter. So here are the two different pieces of wire writing. Obviously it's gonna be really hard to see right now. So let me get a piece of paper and I'll put them up against it so you can see it a little better. So here is the first one. Here is the word eat. I would definitely do this one a little bigger. Next time I'm probably gonna do it again when I actually make it to put it in our kitchen. I think a little bigger would look better, but definitely that T was difficult to do at first, but I definitely got the hang of it. And the next one and the last one that I did is the word create. I really, really like how this one turned out. I think that it just looks really pretty and really simple, but very sleek. I really, really like how the R turned out. For some reason, that's like my favorite. I'm really excited to hang this up in the craft room. It's going to go on a gallery wall in here, and I'm actually going to put it inside of a frame, but you guys will have to tune back in next week to see how that project turns out. At first, when I came up with the idea for this project, I was kind of intimidated just because I had never done anything like this before. I think that this project is really simple, and I think it'll also be cool to see how like different people's penmanship affects how these look. I think it's really interesting how this looks very similar to the way I write. That's it for this Dollar Tree DIY. Thank you so much for watching. This is a very, very simple project to do. It is time consuming for the first couple ones that you do because it's just getting your hands used to working with wire and to writing with wire. I think it's something that anybody can do if you have patience. This definitely required some patience. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at thriftedliving. And if you don't have an Instagram but would like to stay up to date with what I'm doing, you can follow me on Facebook at thriftedliving page. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!